Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube?
What up, YouTube?
It's SEL0320.
Joe Johnson 030, the new and updated version of me and my YouTube channel. Check it out.
Yeah. So we just finished our spoiler review of the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Baby.
I think I'll post a link right here so y'all can go and check that out right here. Yeah, definitely go and check this out. But the movie itself, y'all, like, we're gonna go ahead and go into the three sections, which is the scope, the visuals, the score, the acting, which you wouldn't believe it would be acting going on, but it's a lot of great acting going on through these performances of these apes, and then a little bit of the story. But I'm gonna leave a lot of the story for our spoiler review so y'all can kind of get more of a concept if you want to know about it. I'm gonna go do that. So off the gate, the visuals, the visual effects, they kept me involved so much that I forgot that these things were not real. I forget that these are not real apes. Like, the visual effects are so good and so on key that I'm like, this is really happening. Like, I'm in awe, like, that it's happening. Like, you know how, like, when we would see the apes say something and you just like, why are we doing that? They're not real, but like, we're doing that, and that shows that the scope is just amazing, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, I really enjoyed just, you know, the visual eye candy in this movie. Cause like, what I mean by eye candy is like, okay, first of all, you know, the scene where they're hunting. Dang, I'm sorry. Well, that's not too important.
That's not big.
But this opening scene, you know, they're on the hunt. The apes are on the hunt, and they have, you probably seen in the previews and the trailers, there's face paint on them and body paint, and I was like, wow, this is very creative and imaginative for the designers and the producers of this movie to actually have the apes look like that, because that's not even necessary. You know what I'm saying? To only not to have just like a CG ape, but to go beyond that and put character and tribal aspects on these individuals. So I was like, wow. And even some of the city, the post-apocalyptic setting was
my gosh, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
You know, the way they had buildings overgrown, and
it looked real.
It looked real. It looked good, and I was just like, this. It really made you know, urban America look so foreign and desolate and just run down, and it was really like, wow, this looks like how it would really look like if it was the apocalypse, it was the end. It was that good.
Yeah, even like the movies Oblivion, I Am Legend, those had like glimpses of things like that, but this, I mean, they were just in one set area. But I think what helps is that when we looked at the Rise of Planet Apes, we saw this same area, and like now it's mossed over. It really looks like it's 10 years later, and that's what this time frame takes place 10 years after the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And like the way it looks, like I can swear up and down, like these are real settings that they might have actually built these set pieces. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to research it, but it was really well done. Like, the visuals are just amazing, and even like the fight sequences, the gun battles that are happening, the apes that are on horses. Like, are those real horses and people on them, or everything CG? I don't know. Like, it's just it's on key.
Yeah.
It's epic. So.
Man, I also want to throw in the way the apes' home look. I was like,
yeah,
bro, that place looks crazy. Cause, you know, it's primitive, but at the same time, it's very elaborate. Like, when you see Caesar's his tree house, like the way it's designed, I'm like, yo, that's a boss tree house, you know. I was like, wow.
Yeah, they've come far in 10 years, man. It's insane.
Definitely.
And they got like the little babies now. And I ain't gonna spoil anything, but Caesar does have a son, and he makes his presence known in this one. But even like the battle scars, like when they get hurt or get like injured, like you see it. you see the blood and so much attention to details, even the finest hair. Like I have to give the visual effects for this a 10 out of 10. Like I didn't even see it in 3D. We just saw it in regular, and like I don't know. It was eye candy for anybody that is a cinematographer or a graphic designer or even like animation major. Like you're just like wow, what's this? Wow, you know. So it was awesome. We give the score for that one.
I give it a 10, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
1-0.
I think that when I was in there, I was looking and listening to some of the score. I actually enjoyed the score. I thought it fit, every scene fit for the mode of what the film was supposed to be, which is post-apocalyptic, but there's like a build-up that happens with every scene. Like you could tell, like there was points where the drums are beating like this, and you're like, what is about to happen, you know? And then there was certain points where it was like a subtle scene where like somebody's playing like some music and it's like old timey kind of music. Everything's kind of like a nice moment, you know? There's a point in the movie where it was just a really nice scene and you know this music is too good to be true, you know? And so that's good work by whoever did the sound mixing. I think that, who was the person that I saw? I think it was Michael Giacchino that did a lot of the score, but he did a really good job. I mean, it sounded notable to like Hans Zimmer, some of the stuff that I actually heard. So he did a really good job with it. So I had to give the sound at least an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed the way they did the score for this one. So I'm gonna have to check out a little bit more of that later. So the acting. It's no surprise here that the breakout star was Andy Serkis. Caesar himself, Gollum, King Kong, he's done it all. But this is his baby to me, because this is where he has the most opportunity to really shine. You know, Gollum is a character that's driven by desire and stuff like that, but this you see from age 1 to all the way, that's all Andy. And in this one, because Caesar now, like Joe has said before in the spoiler review, that he's a wise ape. Like he is not only bigger and bulkier and more astute in being the leader, but like he's the leader of a faction. Like he's got his own swag. Like in the way that every role and every performance is happening, when he's threatened, when he's happy, like the action is just on point, and you see it through the CG, and he really should get some kind of nomination for it. I don't see why, just because he has a CG overground, take the principal footage, take the footage, put it side by side for the whole entire movie so you can see him doing the acting and give him an award, because he deserves it. Not just because of like the CG. Don't give him some random CG award. Give him a nomination for Best Actor. Like he's doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In this one. And who else was kind of a knockout for you as far as actor? I know who you're gonna say. Besides Caesar.
Besides Caesar?
Uh-huh.
Besides Caesar.
Mm-hmm. Cause you got, so I'll name off some of the actors. So you got Gary Oldman that's playing Dreyfus, who's like the leader of the remaining survivors. You've got Kerry Russell playing Ellie. So you got Cody Smith-McPhee, who plays Alexander. Mm-hmm. But you got Malcolm, Alexander, and Ellie. They're basically the family, because Malcolm is the dad, and his son is Alexander, but his wife died. And Ellie is the other character that is like partnered with them, and she's with his dad, and they're just a great family, you know. And to me, the character of Malcolm, he did an amazing job showing that human side that James Franco exemplified in such a weird way in the first one, which I'm not going to spoil for y'all what happened to James Franco, but it will be explained a little bit later on in the film. But I thought that his human side and how he acted, I mean, normally he plays the villain, which has surprised me that he didn't play that character, and then Gary Oldman played the other character. But Gary Oldman also plays a really good villain as well. But in this one, he really wasn't the villain. He was kind of like this character that's just trying to make everybody protected, but he's gone through such a dark past that he's going to do whatever he can to protect and preserve, even if that's on a skewed mindset. But Caesar is the same way, you know. And I mean, we got somebody like Andy Serkis and Gary Oldman in the same movie. It's just epic. But the one that steals the show is the one I think that you're really thinking of.
Oh yeah.
Which is Koba. Koba. Caesar. No, Koba. So the actor's name is Toby Kebbell. He's been in movies such as Rock and Roller. He's been in Clash of the Titans. He's been in Percy Jackson. But the guy can act. Even I think he was in Prince of Persia. He was the prince's brother. But he's a good actor. But what did you think of his role as Koba in this one?
Man, he did a phenomenal job, bro. Cause I mean, you know, I enjoy a good villain. But man, he had that look about him. Like, this Abe is out of his mind.
Yeah. There was, I mean, well, I can't spoil it.
And some of his expressions, you know, when it was a situation where it was a bad situation, when this guy was smiling, I was like,
that's what I was talking about.
Guy, the way he smiles, bro, it's just so, it's creepy, bro. Like, this, he's crazy.
Yeah, he is an on an intellectual level, I think he might be the only person that matches with Caesar on an intellectual level. But the darkness that this ape has in him, like, you're looking at him, you're like, yeah, he hates humans. But he'll come up to a human one or three different ways. He might come up to him like, hey, and then just switch gears. Or he might be like, or he'd be like, did he just, dirty human? You know, that's the look that he gives. He might not say it. Be like, why you bring this human up in here? Get him out of here, you know?
Human.
But, I mean, to me, like, even the voice that Andy Serkis kind of, Caesar's able to talk a lot more in this one, but Koba, when he speaks and he talks, like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's like yin for yang, you know? It's really crazy. And so I think that Toby did a great job. So he might, if they give these people nominations, they deserve it. Him and Andy Serkis, but Andy, he always steals the show for this role. So the acting, to me, I thought it was on par. Even the sub characters, they did their roles. It wasn't anything really deep they had to do, you know. But to play the role of a survivor or play the role of a faction of an ape, I mean, that takes ability. You can't just sit there and like, oh, I'm gonna be an ape.
Yeah. Like,
they had to get into those roles. So, to me, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. As far as acting is concerned. What about you?
Yeah, I give it a 9, bro.
No.
It's solid 9.
So I guess what we'll do for the story, we're not gonna go in any detail with it at all. I think you need to go into it not knowing more so than just kind of trying to get a grasp of what's happening. Trailers to me kind of like ruin movies. If you really want to look at the movie and then go back and look at our spoilers, we talk about the story in depth. The only thing I'm gonna share with you is just a synopsis. A growing nation of genetically evolved apes, led by Caesar, is threatened by a band of human survivors of a devastating virus unleashed on a decade later. They reach the fragile peace, but it's proven to be harder than realized. So, yeah. I mean, that kind of is the story in a nutshell, but there's so many more things that happen, so many different plot twists, that the scripting was awesome. I thought that the way that they did the dialogue and the way that they planned these different factions of things that are happening for these people. Like, you had 4 different groups that were happening at the same time, but it meshed well with the story. And it added, by the end of it, you're like on the edge of your seats, like, I can't believe this is happening because this person's trying to protect this person, or this person has this agenda and it's about to have this person killed, you know? It's just so interwoven so well that they take off of the original and they make it the whole new fresh kind of feel. It's not the same as that movie. This is not the same movie as the first one. This is its own entity, you know. What can you say about, I guess, the story without kind of revealing too much?
Well, I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you already know like this is the start of the Planet of the Apes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I find it interesting how it's like we're watching the history of, you know what I'm saying, their civilization. You know what I'm saying? Because you think about it, you know, he has an iconic name of being Caesar. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he's a leader, and then you get to see not only that, but you see the next generation of apes in this movie. You know, the apes' children, and it's like these are the foundations of what, you know, these apes are gonna continue on in for eons. You know, so that's interesting to see as far as like the story is for me.
And I mean, most books that are done really well, they have a history-oriented feel to them, and this is all about the history. This is all about the here and the now, and technically this is the past going into the future. And I mean, if any of y'all looked at it's crazy, they went backwards, because the first one is literally the future and what it looks like, with the apes that's taken over the planet, and at this point the apes have not, but they've survived more than humans have. And so it's just so much stuff that's happening, and it's just such a really good story. I think that they did a great job of keeping the pacing, but at the same time having a good delivery as far as bringing the things that we wanted to see from the first one, like evolved, but at the same time adding more meat to it. The only thing I can think of that I'd rather have with the end of the story is I'd really rather have like more of a resolve of what's going to happen next. I really don't know. Looking at the end of the movie, I really don't know how and where the direction is going to go. Whereas the first one, I knew exactly what was going to happen, you know. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I'd give the story at least an 8.5 out of 10. I'd probably give it a little bit higher if I kind of had that like one little punch at the end, you know. But I don't think there's anything really after the credits. There is some mention of something after the final roll credits if you listen. It's not anything visual, but you have to listen. I'm not gonna reveal what that is, but if you listen, you'll know. But yeah, anything else you can think about the story, or what was your review? What's your?
I'll give it an 8. Give it a solid 8.
Yeah. Wow. But yeah, we enjoyed it. We give it a thumbs up. Definitely go and check out The Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This is SCL-0320.
Joe Johnson 030.
Yeah, he got that joint on point now. So this is gonna be a new introduction, I guess. Okay. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night, good evening, good day. Stay blessed. Love y'all. Deuces. Oh, snap.
Ouch. Gotta edit that out.